We're joined here today by Dan Francis from Vote Boxing. Dan, first of all, how you doing? We're at the Tear Up at the Selwyn. How you feeling?
Yeah, very good. Thanks, buddy. Nice to have you down here again. Yeah, no, it's nice to be back at the venue down here in Llanelli. We haven't been here for a while now because obviously we've been running the shows in the Bramwyn Hall. So it's nice to be back down and running the shows in this nice little venue here in Llanelli. Gives the fighters the opportunity to fight and come on the show again, you know. So looking forward to it. We've had a few hiccups with this shows with fighters' medicals and fighters becoming unwell and things, which has caused a few little problems on fight week, but you know we have teething problems all the time on fight week, but we still got a good card going ahead tonight with 5 good strong fights on the show.
And then on to some of the Vote Boxing stuff. Obviously next week you got on the Top Tier show yourself, the matchmaking on that. How much are you looking forward to that show next week in the Brentwood Centre?
Yeah, you know, top tier, you know, as it is, the slogan says, isn't it? Small hall show with big show mentality, and that's exactly what it is. And with me matchmaking now, you know, I'm the main matchmaker of a top tier, and we've put on Johnny Clark himself has put on a fantastic show, fantastic production. You know, it's top level shows. You know, we've got a local Welsh boy going up from Swansea, and Ben Crocker. He's fighting Stelios Pavlopoulos in a 10-round fight, with hopefully the option to fight for an IBF, a European shot next for the winner. You know, it's just nice to give these Welsh boys opportunities on the bigger shows rather than fighting on the small hall shows in down here. You know, giving them the experience of the big show mentality. Then, you know, the weigh-in, the media days, the press conferences, the day before weigh-ins, and then obviously fight day. You know, all that sort of stuff. But yeah, you know, looking forward to that show next week up in Essex, and yeah, it should be a good night.
And then in terms of yourself at Vote Boxing, any big news coming out of you guys? I know you've signed a new fighter recently. You've got some shows coming up soon as well.
Yeah, so that's at Vote. You know, we're speaking to a lot of fighters at the moment with potential of signing with us, but we have just signed former Central Area and English champion Michael Rambalesta, and we have also secured him it's either going to be an English or a Commonwealth eliminator fight. On Cargreaves show in Leicester on June the 14th against Leon Woodstock, so we're looking forward to that happening as well. You know, so it's nice to get Michael back in the mix. You know, he's been out for a while now, but you know he's been a champion before, and trust me, he's looking to become a champion again and add belts to his resume, and looking to give it one more go. You know, and so it's super exciting. There's a lot of exciting stuff happening. You know, within Vote Boxing, we're looking at signing a few potential, as I said earlier, a few more potential fighters. We're in discussions at the moment, so we'll have a few more announcements coming shortly. But going on, like you said, with the matchmaking stuff within Wales, you know, as a show, we're just trying to make it so that Welsh boys are having the opportunities, and I'm looking myself to give these Welsh boys opportunities in all the big shows that we're working with, you know, within Vote Boxing and matchmaking and stuff, you know, trying to get them on the top tier shows, the Matchroom shows, the Queensbury shows, the Boxer shows. You know, we got the Welsh show down in boxing now that with Gary Locke, it's got a few of his boys on there, which is a fantastic opportunity for these boys. You know, and it's just good to see the Welsh boys and the Welsh boys who have put a lot of time and effort into the small hall shows and haven't got much out of the sport money wise, and now getting an opportunity to fight on the big shows and earn some money from boxing, you know.
And someone who you've worked with quite closely and got a really big opportunity, Brandon Scott, recently fought, obviously. Really difficult fight, took him the distance. Now he's got the 2 hands all sorted. What did you make of his performance? What did you make of Brandon going forward as well?
Yeah, you know, Brandon's a fantastic talent, a really talented kid. You know, he's got all the talk. He's got all the walk. You know, he's done it in the ring. It's his first 6-rounder. You know, we call it a learning fight in the game, don't we? You know, it was a very good, tough 6-round learning fight. He showed he's got balls. You know, as he said himself in the interview, it shows that he's got balls. You know, that Argentinian guy was throwing everything at him but the kitchen sink, I think, and maybe in the last round he threw that at him as well, and Brandon just dug in, bit in the gum shield and kept moving forward. You know, he's going to learn a lot from that fight, Brandon, and you know, he's still going to get there, and he's still going to earn and get that world title shot down the line that he wants. You know, he's just got to continue doing what he does. Fair play to Brandon. You know, he lives and breathes boxing. You know, that's all he does. He trains two times a day, even when he's out of camp. You know, so he's got the right team behind him. You know, he's managed by Leeton. You know, he's sponsored by Venom, who are supporting him in every way. You know, in all his fight kit, his training kit, everything that he needs in the sport, and obviously as well. And he's got Matchroom backing him as well. You know.
So to move on to this show, obviously the Tear Up at the Selwyn here in Llanelli. What's the one fight or people into the crowd or making people tune in for this one?
Yeah, we've got a great show here tonight. No, it's turned into a 5-fight show. So you've got Carvell Crocker starting the show. He's fighting Conor Meanwell. You know, Conor's coming down. He's a 50-50 record, but you know, he's a good tough fighter. He fought on our Brandon Hall show before against Ben Crocker. You know, so that should be a good tough fight. You know, another good fight for Carvell. Then we got Josh Meli, who's coming off that really big fight, good fight last time against Casey Bradman. We were hoping to have the rematch on this show, but for other reasons that fight didn't happen. You know, so he's fighting Paul Scaife. Then we've got Morgan Mcintosh, who's obviously coming back to put things right from the Bramlin Hall show and get back in the winner's record. And he's fighting Nathan Darby, who was trained by ex-WBC world champion Junior Witter. And then we got James Todd. You know, James Todd is a big ticket seller. He's been there, he's done it before. You know, he's fought out in America and things. So James Todd is making his, as he said, don't call it a comeback, but he's coming back today on the show against Robbie Chapman. You know, Robbie, he's a seasoned journeyman, tough man. So it's a tough fight for his first fight back. And then we got the Welsh Canelo, as they call him. You know, he said he's coming here to take over. He's coming to win titles. So this is his opportunity to show it now. You know, he's been out in the ring for a while. He's got a new manager in Sean Murray. You know, and he said he's going to show everybody how good he is, and he's fighting a tough fighter as well, and Dylan Courtney, who can bang and can win. You know, so I think that main event is going to be a good one. It'd be good to see James Todd back as well, though. I think he's coming for titles as well. You know, hopefully we can build up a few Welsh titles within the next couple of shows to get us where we want to get and have all these Welsh titles that we want to have on the shows. I'm hoping, as the matchmaker in August, so we can have a big show where we'll have about 3 or 4 Welsh title fights, or at least a couple of Welsh title and a couple of Celtic title fights on the show, you know.
And then you mentioned James Todd. Obviously, it's been a long while he's been out of the ring. Very last minute put onto the show. We didn't know whether or not he was going to get his license or not. How exciting is it to get that finally over the line when you found out, yes, he can fight and we can get him on? Yeah,
you know, it's great. He was supposed to fight on the Bramlin Hall show, but unfortunately it's still the thing, you know, the licenses and medicals. That's one thing, you know, you can see Johnny Clark's put it out the other day on Top Tier. You know, fighters are saying they're ready to go, but then they're not getting their medicals done, and then it's costing promoters money and it's costing them money. So one thing I could say to fighters, a bit of advice, as Johnny said himself, is get your medical sorted before you want to get on a show, because you're only going to cost yourself, you know. But and it's great to have him on the show finally. You know, he's coming back to have a good run at it now. You know, he's a big ticket seller. He's got a big fan base. You know, so it's going to be an exciting few nights ahead with James Todd back in the mix. You know.
And then Josh Meli, like you said, had an absolute war against Casey Bradman last time. Narrowly got the victory on that one. Is this one another fight about just sort of you know, getting in there, getting the experience and winning a fight without maybe getting dropped in the second round and doing it a bit more sort of smartly, a bit more classically?
Yeah, you know, the last fight against Gracie, you know, we called it ourselves. I think I'd done an interview with you after the show, and it was fight of the night, wasn't it? You know, and then obviously Ashley had a great fight as well, Ashley Johnson. But I think that fight for excitement, the fact that it was Josh's debut, and he was dropped in the second, he came back. You know, it's very conscientious. You know, there was people who were saying it was a Meli win. There was people saying it was a draw. Some people ringside were saying that Casey won. You know, but you know, this fight's about stepping back now. You know, his manager Pat Barrett, he's managed by Pat Barrett. You know, so Pat said, like, it's about learning now. It's giving him that learning fight. Get back, get into a comfortable rhythm. See what he can do against Paul Scaife, and then move forward from there.
And then Morgan, you mentioned he lost his fight, unfortunately, and there was issues with him making weight and stuff on the night. He's come in this time. He's made weight. Everything's in motion for him to put on a good performance tonight. And do you predict he's going to do that?
Oh yeah, you know, Morgan. You could see the skills from Morgan in the last fight. You know, it was just there's a few issues, and obviously it was a tough fight to have on your debut against Jordan Granham. And we all know how good Jordan Granham is, and you saw that in the fact that the week after he went and won again. You know, after beating Morgan. So, but Morgan is switched on. He's raring to go. He's raring to show everybody what he can do, and I think tonight he'll put on a special show.
And then Carvell Crocker, another really impressive fighter coming out of Gary Lockett's stable. Gary's got a stable full of unbelievable fighters. He's opening the night tonight, and he, imagine, is going to open it in some pretty good fashion as well.
Oh yeah, Carvell's coming. I think Carvell's coming for the stoppage tonight to put on a bit of a show. You know, he's been training hard, he's been working hard, he's been waiting for his opportunity. The opportunity's come now to start his year off good, and now he's ready to go. And I think he will put on a good clinic performance, clean and clinic performance tonight.
And then Jordan Withers, a man you know very well, a man we've spoken to a lot as well. He's raring to go. I think, you know, it's going to be a case of, he said he doesn't think it's going to go the distance, but I think that might just be him, you know, ready to go in there and ready to hopefully blow him out of the water. Yeah,
you know, Jordan's come onto the show, and Jordan's been, as you can see, you've seen yourself, and I think everybody's seen on social media, he's saying that he's ready, he's coming for all the title, he's coming for everything he wants to come for. But let's Jordan's had a while out the ring now. You know, it's if he's saying it, it's time for him to show it, isn't it? You know, it's time for him to get that consistent run going. You know, I'm dealing with his manager. You know, he's got a few things in the pipeline. You know, he's fighting tonight, could potentially be fighting in Denmark on the 25th of May. And when I working on the next show already for June the 8th in Llanelli, you know, we're looking to potentially look at a Celtic title shot for him as well. You know, so there's a lot of big interesting things happening. But you know, there's a lot of stuff that'll have to happen before then to get us there. But you know, that's what the game's about, and they're making exciting shows for giving these fighters the opportunities to fight.